tax season rapidly approaching, what the heck's going on with H&R Block stock, the nation's largest tax preparation firm? Historically, this used to be the most wonderful time of the year for H&R Block, but something's changed. In 2016, they had a dismal tax season, in part because there's so much online competition, much of it low cost or even free. The stock got pummeled. After we saw these numbers, it really hasn't recovered since. It's kind of like maybe how Amazon's been able to lay waste to traditional bricks and mortar retailers. Why go to somewhere to get your taxes done when you can get a similar service online, often for less money? And that's why H&R Block's been rolling out new initiatives to win over more customers, including giving people interest-free cash advances on their tax refunds. Just today, the company announced that they're partnering with IBM's Watson to roll out artificial intelligence on a mass scale in order to help customers find tax deductions that they might not have known they were eligible for. Will this be enough to get the business back on track? Let's take a closer look with Bill Cobb. He's the president and CR of H&R Block. Find out more about how his company's doing, where it's headed. Mr. Cobb, welcome back to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir.
Jim, good to see you.
Have a seat, Bill. Okay.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so Bill, the Watson news, you have a big ad campaign, John Hamm. You're doing interest-free loans, which I know is going to have to cost you a little bit. Will this be enough to turn things around?
Well, as you said, we had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
Got hit. I think the stock, we bought stock back every quarter. Dividend yield is still over 4%, so I don't even want to get into whether it's undervalued. Right. Of course, I think it is. I said last June, you're going to see a very different H&R Block this year, and that's what you've seen. We came out with what we say is our value proposition, which is get your taxes won, not just get them done. We came out with John Hamm as our spokesperson. Right. We're very aggressive in the early season. We've got the best digital offer with H&R Block More Zero. We are giving refund advance loans because of the delay in refunds from the IRS, the PATH Act. We have a free federal 1040 EZ in our offices. And tonight we're announcing our partnership with IBM Watson to fundamentally change the retail experience in our offices. It's only going to be in our offices. You're going to come in. Client now has their own monitor. All the testing showing. People are saying, hey, it's fun to come to H&R Block. So we wanted to be aggressive across the board on all fronts, and you're going to see a very different block this year.
Okay, now I know you can't talk numbers right now, but are you seeing more traffic because of the Hamm ads? Seeing more traffic because of the interest-free? Because I know it's going to cost you a couple it costs you a little bit to loan that to people, but it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's a very good deal. There are no hidden fees. It's interest-free. It's an advance on your refund. It's secured by the refund, so we get paid back that way. We think it's an excellent offer for the consumer.
Has it got people buzzing?
Yeah, it does have a lot of people buzzing. I can't talk about the numbers, but there's a lot of social media sentiment about the John Hamm ads, about refund advance, about the free federal EZ. So we're very pleased with where sentiment is. Okay,
let's talk about some headwinds. The president, he was not the president when he said this, but he said this a couple times. We put in a very big policy paper, massive simplification of what we have now. You will not need H&R Block ripping you off anymore. We mentioned this once before, but it kept resonating. I mean, now he's president. Something to worry about, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of campaign rhetoric. I actually came out with a LinkedIn article a couple of weeks ago. I said the president is right. Tax reform is needed. I think we're in agreement with him. I think there are ways that we can streamline the tax code. I think that there are ways that we can help small business. We have ideas about reform and regulation around the IRS and the CFPB. And frankly, corporate tax reform, you talked about it this morning with Apple. It'd be a big deal for us. Our tax rate is in the mid-30s to high 30s. Any kind of corporate tax reform will help H&R Block Inc. Dramatically.
Okay, now, I pick up, this is, again, anecdotal. Over 1 million Americans sign up for Credit Karma tax in the first 15 days. Here's the Credit Karma, they're saying you shouldn't have to pay to have your taxes done. Is that you kind of get what you pay for if you do it?
Well, there's a catch, of course, because it's free, but we're going to sell your data to advertisers and the like. So your personal identifiable information, which we protect, would be exposed. The other piece is they've had a lot of difficulty getting authorized to file in a number of states, so that they are delayed relative to the rest of us in the industry who have been doing this for a long time.
How about younger people who really do like to do everything online? I mean, look, I go to stores, and there's an H&R Block right near me, and it's right next to Wendy's, so it's right next to where I pick up my Kings. I see it. I know people go in there. Hey, but I wonder whether younger people they do everything on their cell phone, as we saw from Apple's numbers.
What we're trying to do this year, as part of our aggressiveness, was to say we've got to get people to rethink the tax event. People just wanting to get their taxes done, they are leaving money on the table. If you went to an ATM try to take $100 out and you got 70, you'd be banging on the machine and running into the bank. That's what's happening at tax time for young people and the like. You're just getting your taxes done, and what you really need to do is come out with the best outcome, which is what Watson's about. Okay. Watson's ability to find every credit and deduction in concert with our tax pros is going to get you the best outcome.
Now, we did have Intuit on. Intuit did have some decent numbers. Will this blunt Intuit in some way?
I think, Intuit's a fine company, and, we allow you to do taxes the way you want to. We don't try to force you into digital. We have the best digital offer out there with H&R Block More Zero. You can even file for free with a 1040 with a Schedule A if you itemize. But that's why we're working both on the digital front and on the retail front, and especially trying to change the retail experience, make it more interesting, make it more interactive with our partnership with Watson.
All right, well, let's see how it goes. That's Bill Cobb. He's president and CEO of H&R Block, HRB. The Watson thing, kind of cool. I have to admit, we spent a lot of time with Watson and IBM. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.